Guys, Flip-Flop 34 here, and I'm going to be doing NBA GOATs tier list rank. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so we got GOAT tier 2, tier 3, GOAT tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and then tier 5. So first, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, I would say, is probably a tier 4, because Dwayne Wade is not a GOAT, and I wouldn't say he's pretty close to being a GOAT. He's probably one of the greatest of all time for a shooting guard, but I would probably say he's a tier 4 to get to the greatest of all time. Shaq is a tier 2. Shaq is very close to being the greatest of all time. If he could shoot, he would probably be the greatest player of all time. So, yeah. And then Wilt. Wilt is a tier 2 as well. He would be very close. However, he didn't have much competition back then. So, yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon is tier 3 for me. He's not as good as Shaq and Wilt, but he's great. He was a superstar. And yeah, Allen Iverson is also tier 3 with Hakeem. They're both great, both amazing players. Allen Iverson, my favorite player of all time. And yeah, Bill Russell is also a tier 3. Bill Russell didn't have much competition back then, unlike Hakeem, Allen Iverson, and Shaq. So yeah. Bob Pettit is tier 4. My bad. Tier 4. He's even with Dwayne Wade. I don't like Bob Pettit. I think he was kind of overrated, and he didn't have any competition back then. John Havlicek is not even close to being the GOAT. He died, rest in peace, but he is not even close to being the GOAT. Charles Barkley is also a tier 4 because he is not close to being a GOAT, but he's not John Havlicek, which isn't even close to being a GOAT. So yeah, but Charles Barkley, great rebounder, and he had some competition, but he's not a GOAT. Clyde Drexler is a tier 5. He was a great player. I loved Clyde Drexler, but I loved watching his highlights. Not back then, but what am I saying? I liked Clyde Drexler's style. He was very athletic, but he was way better than John Havlicek. John Havlicek does not even deserve to be on here, to be honest. Dr. J is a tier 3. He was great, and he was a dunk king, and he was amazing, but we all know that he's not the GOAT. David Robinson is also a tier 4. He's even with Chuck, Dwayne Wade, and Bob Pettit. Honestly, I'm going to move Bob Pettit down to tier 5 because I don't think he's even close to being the GOAT. So, yeah. George Gervin is really, I don't know why he's on here. He's a great player. He was a great player. He was the mailman. Not the mailman. The Iceman. And yeah. Kevin Garnett, tier 4. He's not the GOAT. Maybe one of the greatest trash talkers of all time, but he's not the greatest of all time. Nope. Steph Curry is a tier 3. Steph Curry is very good. Actually, he's a tier 4. But he is not the GOAT. He could be the greatest point guard of all time. That, in my opinion, belongs to Magic. And speaking of Magic, I'm going to move him to tier 2 because Magic, some people may make the argument that Magic is the greatest player of all time, even though I do not agree, and I know, in fact, who the GOAT is, and it's not even an argument. Kareem is... So, I'm going to do the order, and tier 2 is very close to the GOAT, and GOAT is only the great one player. And Dirk, in my opinion, is a tier 4, and he is not the GOAT. He should be tier 5, but I like Dirk. And Dirk was a great power forward who could shoot, and he led his team to the finals and kind of put his team on his back. Kevin Durant is a tier 2. I think Kevin Durant could be the greatest player of all time, but I do think Kevin Durant is the best scorer of all time. Kevin Durant was amazing. He is amazing, and I still have no respect for him whatsoever because he left OKC. Karl Malone is a tier 3. Karl Malone is very good at having fun with younger people. Kobe Bryant is tier 2. Kobe Bryant can be the GOAT. Rest in peace, Mamba. He was a great shooting guard. He's definitely top 10 of all time. Larry Bird is tier 2. My top 10 of all time is probably going to be in here. And Larry Bird is a top 10. However, I think he's kind of overrated because some people have him in like their top 3. LeBron is tier 2. LeBron is not the GOAT. You can bother me all you want. LeBron will never be the GOAT, and he is not the GOAT. Jerry West is tier 4. Okay, if I could, tier 4. He was very good. He was a very fundamental point guard. He wasn't shooting from 50 feet because they didn't have a line back then, but he was a great point guard. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, and it's not even a debate. He is Air Jordan. He is his airness. He is Michael Jordan, and that's really all I need to say. Moses Malone is a tier 5. He's not even close to the GOAT, in my opinion. He's almost as bad as John Havlicek, but they both don't deserve to be on here. Scottie Pippen is also tier 5. He does not deserve to be on here. Michael carried him. John Stockton is a tier 4. He was also a very fundamental, very good passing point guard, and he was a huge contributor to the Jazz back in their heyday. Tim Duncan is a tier 2, top 10, and all these players right here are probably in my top 10. And if I'm being honest, I'm going to have to move Kevin Durant down to tier 3 because I personally don't think he is in my top 10 because I lost all my respect for him. And then Oscar Robertson is a tier 3, great triple-double guy. He could rebound, he could pass, and he could score. And that's really all you needed. So yeah, NBA GOAT's tier list rank. I got MJ as the best player of all time, and then John Havlicek and Moses Malone not belonging on here. And one of the most overrated players of all time, and Scottie Pippen is on here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Flip out.